Hello again. I want to do one more chapter from my book. And this one is about Halloween mischief. Before I get started, I hope there's a statute of limitations on some of this stuff. But anyhow, this chapter, it was an important time in my life and all of us kids. Halloween was something that we lived for every year. I mean, it was equally as important to us than Christmas. I mean, it was that good. But anyhow, before we begin, don't forget when you're watching the video of this on YouTube there, click the little hand button. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Give me a thumbs down if you don't like it. You know, if I get more thumbs down than I get thumbs up, I'll stop doing these. But anyhow, I'm getting kind of towards the end of it anyhow. And also, please go ahead and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Good, bad, indifferent. I don't care. I can handle it. I'm ex-military, so I know all about major disappointments. And also, if you really like my stuff and you want to be informed of any subsequent releases of mine, go ahead and click the little bell on there. And then when you do that, you'll be informed every time that I post a new video. So anyhow, without any more delays, here we go. This is very early on in life. Halloween was a much anticipated day to plan for every year. Not yet teenagers, the older generation knew, meaning our gang, whoop whoop, would be a force to deal with. Mischief was way more fun than trick or treat. So there was a little mischief going on. A prime target of ours was outhouses. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. 1, 2, and occasional 3-hole variety. Excuse me. I always wondered about the multi-hole varieties. I hope it was because they were different size holes. Who would want to be in there for business purposes with 2 other people? Yuck. Boop, boop. But anyhow, mostly the mischief was tipping them over on Halloween night. Of course, I'm sure that doesn't go on anymore because outhouses are illegal now. I mean, you can't have them anymore. At least that's what the rules are. Anyhow, like I said, tipping them over was the big sport. I remember one such privy that we had dumped on a couple of previous years, and that year during the Halloween scouting season, which is like 2 weeks before Halloween, it was noticed that it sat quite close to a garage, and the owner, being tired of lifting the outhouse back into place, I can imagine, had anchored the facility to the garage with 2 lengths of threaded rod, approximately 3/8 of an inch in diameter. Chuckles by all of us. It became target 1. Whoop. Come Halloween, the gang stalks in. No movement in the house. The first swipe with a hacksaw, and the door flew open. Holy crapola, the guy was inside. A covey of quail/kids took flight. I bet he laughed for a long time. Other previous capers took considerable planning, because the plan was to burn them on an intersection of a street in our town. The volunteer fire department thought this was a great sport. There were only 3 or 4 intersections in town, so it wasn't difficult to find the action scene. The plan normally consisted of hijacking an old farm wagon, because there was a lot of old farm wagons to be found on farms in the area. Most of them been sitting long forgotten in the trees. Some of them had trees growing up through them. But anyhow, we would find one that was reasonably easy and we would push it for a number of miles to the staging area. This was normally our farm due to the close proximity to town. In fact, our whole farm was inside the town limits. So then it was just a matter of backing the wagon up to a outhouse very quietly and tipping the facility onto the wagon, and away we go to the selected burn area. Busted. I'm telling you. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't read this part. Oh well. I live out of state now, so they'll have to come find me. Busted. It had to happen. I got caught attempting arson on a street corner. We hijacked a privy using the above method. We planted it on an intersection, stuffed it with some trash, and started the incendiary device. Unfortunately, it was kind of a dud, and the fire was starting to go out. In the distance, we could see the fire truck coming, festooned with firemen holding their cold beer. Yeah, that's true. But anyhow, they were holding their cold beer to put out the fire. I guess they were thinking might have to use the beer on it. I doubt that. But anyhow, thinking quickly, perhaps too quickly, I grabbed a can of kerosene and ran towards the outhouse with the hope of watching the firemen at work. Just then, a car rounded the corner, blocking me from my destination. It's true. I was waving them out away when the car doors opened, and these two guys stepped out. Both were somewhere around 6 foot 10 inches tall, and they were wearing Smokey the Bear hats. Time once again for clean underwear. Coming of age moment for sure. Can't tell you what they said, but they did cuff me and loaded me into the back seat. I was taken to the main intersection town known as Cotty's Corners, or the Four Corners, whatever you want to call it, or the Banker's Turn, because Harold Caldwell owned the drugstore there. It was easy to find because that intersection had a blinking light, the only one in town. So there I sat in the back seat of a highway patrol car, wondering if they give kids the electric chair for Halloween mischief. I'm serious. I was worried. Even worse, would they take me home to my dad? I might be better off if I got the chair. Diagonally across the intersection were most of my friends, watching to see if I was going to be administered my last rites. There was another problem. The handcuffs kept falling off of me. Years later, I figured out that I was being used as a scare tactic. Rather effective, I'd say. Eventually, they gave me the option of going straight home or going to jail. I made a snap decision to go home. I was pretty cool with the guys for some time after that. Today, the outhouses are gone. It is probably illegal to have one. I think I already mentioned that. Not long ago, I was watching a treasure hunting show on TV. The hunters were looking for locations that previously were homes for a privy outhouse. They said many treasures had fallen in there and for obvious reason never recovered. On our farm in Rockdale, Texas, we have the remnants of a privy in the woods. It should be safe. It has not been used for 30 years or more. At least. It has always been just a few boards in a pile as long as I can ever remember. Maybe I should see what I can dig up. With my luck, I would probably just find a bunch of crap. That was a really smelly joke. But anyhow, that's just a little story about Ransomville. I got a picture. There's a picture in my book here of the old fire truck, the old hook and ladder truck. It was pretty cool truck. I still love that truck. I mean, it was old. I mean, that truck was probably 20 years older than me, and I'm pretty old. So anyhow, and I understand it's still there. But anyhow, that's just kind of the short episode of my book, and gosh, I hope you like it. This Halloween brings back so many memories to me and all my friends. A lot of them are gone now, but they took the grave with them. A lot of good memories from Halloween, and gosh, I remember. I think it was the fire company. They had used to have a party for us in the old Grange Hall, and because I remember one time I went in there and I ate so many donuts and I drank so much apple cider that about the time I got home that night, I didn't feel so good, and I can remember in the bathroom it pretty much turned me inside out. I mean, I was a sick kid, but anyhow, the donuts were tasty and the cider was good, and gosh, what memories. I remember from the old canning factory there, the trailer loads of tomatoes going by. Oh, I just knocked my microphone off. So anyhow, here's my microphone. I wouldn't have traded that time of my life for anything. It was just that cool. Totally cool. Awesomely cool. And so until next time, just remember, no matter where you go, there you are. Bye-bye.